Hey, what's up, people? So recently I did some behind the edge thickness measuring with my calipers, and they were like, "Super blöd!" And I was like, this can't be true. So I bought some new calipers. Which are these? Which are like 3 or 4 times the price of this one. And then I remeasured all my knives, or all the knives I've done videos on, and some others as well. And I may have been wrong on some things. So this video is to correct myself, basically, because these calipers are a piece of, you know, how it goes. Anyways, let's just go through some of the knives that I have done videos on, and I will all the videos I've done, I will leave you the behind the edge thickness, the correct behind the edge thickness, in the comment section or in the description box. So we'll go back through all the videos and correct myself, basically. So let's just start with the knife that I have been most interested in, which what the correct behind the edge thickness is, which is the Cold Steel Airlight. I have done a pretty more or less negative review on this knife, and in this video I said the behind the edge thickness is like 0.8 millimeters, which is 33 thousandths, which is not true. The correct behind the edge thickness on this knife is 0.7 millimeters, which is 27 thousandths, which is still very thick, and my opinion hasn't really changed on this knife, but I may give it another chance. Not because the behind the edge thickness is that much better now, but just because I want to, you know, I might lay back the edge bevel and we see if this knife does perform better. But still, I think this knife is not as good as it should be, and not as thin as it should be behind the edge. Another knife that I have been recently, or in the last couple of videos, been talking about is the Extrema Ratio BD4 Lucky. And in this video I said it's like, I don't know, 0.7 millimeters behind the edge, which the correct behind the edge thickness is 0.5, which is 19, almost 20 thousandths behind the edge, which is still, again, not very thin, but better than 0.7. So my last calipers were basically off by 0.1 to 0.2 millimeters, which is a lot when it comes to knives. It doesn't matter too much when you measure like I don't know, spine thickness or something like that, but when you measure behind the edge thickness, it actually measures a whole lot. So yeah. The Chris Reeve Sebenza, I did just a little close-up video, you know, not a review or something like that on this knife, but it's a great knife, by the way. The Sebenza 21, the small Sebenza 21, comes in at quite thick, actually, about 0.57 in the front section to 0.38 millimeter in the back section, which is anywhere from 22 to 15 thousandths behind the edge. So it's a rather thick knife, actually, in some sections. But I remember that my Chris Reeve Inkosi was also quite thick behind the edge. And in the beginning, and once you resharpen it, you know, because of that hollow grind, you thin out that knife, and it cuts a whole lot better as you resharpen it, which is very nice, actually, that knives can become better over time. So, oh, for the one person out there that knows what I'm talking about, I haven't got my Umnumzan yet. I don't know what it takes so long for some of the dealers, and it's also the Chris Reeve, all the Chris Reeve knives are very, very, very overpriced right now. So it's kind of hard to find a knife for a good price, a Chris Reeve knife for a good price. But I have a feeling that from all the Chris Reeve knives, I probably like the Sebenza the most, preferably the large one, but the small one is also a very nice little tool. So, this is a knife that probably no one cares about. This is the old Spyderco Manix, so the one with the hollow grind. I also done a video about this. This is about 0.53 to 0.45, so anywhere between 17 and 20 thousandths behind the edge after some resharpenings, but it's also hollow grind. And this is still a great knife. I love the old Manix with the 154 cm. It's just a great user. It has a fixed spine, and then it's not too thin behind the edge, but it's relatively okay at cutting, and just a great knife. Killer ergos, a little bit boxy, but awesome knife. Very great lockup also, and this runs just fine after all these years. Let's get into some Chinese knives. We have the Civivi Governor. The Civivi Governor has 0.3 millimeters behind the edge, which is between 11 and 13 thousandths, so probably like 12 thousandths behind the edge. Quite thin actually. The other knife, the other Chinese knife that I have here, oh actually no, I have most of the Chinese knives here on the table, but the other one that I wanted to show you is the Kaiser Mini Domin, which has, because I've laid back the edge bevel to 15 degrees, now has also 0.3, so 11, almost 12 thousandths behind the edge. So the Governor has not been laid back on the edge bevel, so out of the box you have a very, very great behind the edge thickness actually on this knife. And the Kaiser Mini Domin was out of the box also not too bad, but great slicers actually. These two guys right here. The red one, this one is a red one that has not been resharpened. That's why I wanted to show it here. The red one on my knife that I actually have here is 0.4 millimeters, which is 15 thousandths behind the edge. Not too thin, not too thick either. It's a good compromise. It gets thicker in some sections. I would be actually very interested if what the D2 version of this knife is behind the edge. That would actually be nice to know. But because this is the Auth 8 version, and I really would be interested if the D2 version is thicker or thinner. Probably thicker, because D2 is harder to grind and takes longer. I don't know. Two knives that really surprised me with the behind the edge thickness is one, the Rook D19B. I finally got the name right. I could never recall the name on this one before, but now I know it. This is the Rook D19B. A great budget knife, comes in at like 20 to 30 euros and has 0.28 millimeters behind the edge, which is 11 thousandths out of the box without laying back the edge bevel or something like that, or resharpening it. So pretty nice thickness behind the edge actually there. So, and the last knife I wanted to show you is actually the thinnest behind the edge knife that I got, probably from all the knives I have, and this is the Enso Neckar 70. And I think I said in the video about this, I said it's like 0.3, which is totally wrong. It's a lot thinner actually. It's if I find it, where is it? Oh yeah, it's 0.14 to 0.16 millimeters behind the edge, which is between 5 and 6 thousandths. So the maximum thickness behind the edge on this one is 6 thousandths, and this knife has been resharpened multiple times, but I also have laid back the edge bevel on this one, and this one is a flat grind and not the skinny one. So super thin behind the edge thickness on this one. Very surprised. Yeah, I think that's everything for this video, guys. So 2 lessons we learned today is, once you gotta admit when you have been wrong on something, and the second one is that you should always buy more high quality calipers if you do behind the edge measuring. Most of you probably don't even care. So anyways, I hope you guys stay safe out there. I'm not sure how many videos I'm able to pump out in the next few days or weeks. I had a lot of things to do, and now I'm planning to do some outdoor adventuring, and I will not be able to have a lot of time for filming and stuff like that. So anyways, I hope you guys are staying safe out there and everything is fine, and hope you do well, and we might see each other in the next video. Have a nice day, people. Goodbye.